Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about Across the Universe as well as the sequel, Million Suns. I haven't actually read the third one yet, but I wanted to just do these two as a review together, and then the third one, once I read it, will have its own separate video. There are going to be slight spoilers, but I will warn you that's not going to happen until halfway through the video. The first chapter of Across the Universe takes place in Earth, Earth as we know it, and Amy watches both of her parents being frozen. They're put into cryo sleep because they are part of a project of where they're going to be put into the ship for 300 years until they can make it to a new Earth. I think they have a certain name for it. I don't remember what it was. So Amy's watching both her parents go through the process. The first book, that's my favorite part. Watching that, feeling that, it's crazy, it's weird, it's like what's going to happen. Amy's very nervous and scared and all this stuff because she's leaving behind everything and everyone she knows. So her dad gives her a way out. He's like, if you don't want to, if you're feeling like this isn't something you want to do, then you can go back to your aunt and uncle and we won't find out until 300 years later. Amy is woken up 50 years prior to the set date of when they're supposed to all be woken up. So she's awoken 50 years later, 50 years before. She's attacked. She's almost murdered because they didn't properly do it. And then she finds out that someone's also like unplugging all the other frozen people and killing them as well. So I really enjoyed the Across the Universe novel. I didn't know there was going to be a romance in it. I didn't know because when I had watched people talk about it, they didn't mention that. It was very brief summary. There is some romance, so it feels a lot like a young adult romance. It's not right away. It's not insta love, which I'm very glad about because you kind of get a sense that in the very beginning, it's kind of like lust versus love. Like with one of the characters, the male character, his name is Elder. He is like going to be the next one to rule the ship. Second in line, I guess is the way to say that. I felt like I was too close to the camera. So then she's like scrambling. She doesn't know who to trust. The ship has this own system that is very controlling of the population that lives on the ship. Like people don't really have a mind of their own, and the elder list, the guy in charge, is very, very strict and whatever. So I would give Across the Universe 3.5 because I did really love it, but there are some plot holes. There is some science stuff that I know a lot of people said didn't really match up or didn't really fit in a normal, typical science fiction novel. I really liked it. I think it's a nice mix between the science fiction, you're on a generation ship. There's a lot of people who, live and die on that ship, but their ancestors will pick up where the other people left off, if you know what I'm saying. And then there's that aspect of slight romance. I mean, it's nothing too in your face in the very beginning of the novel. I think they don't really I don't think that relationship or even friendship fully evolves until the second book. The second book, A Million Suns, takes place 3 months after the first novel. I would rate this 4.5. I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a lot more suspenseful and a lot more interesting. You find out even more twists and mysteries are kind of solved. You are given answers, which I was really happy about. I was kind of worried, it was all going to be questions, more questions, more questions, no answers. So 4.5. Here are the slight spoilers because I really can't explain this novel if you didn't know what happened in the other one. So Amy has to find out all these little riddles and secrets that were left behind after he died. I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I'm just gonna write it right here. There's like, oh, do I trust what this person's saying or not? And then Elder is kind of like scrambling around trying to control everything, keep things under control, keep the chaos to a minimum, the rebellions to a minimum. So it was very interesting. It was very fun. I kind of spoiled myself accidentally about the big twist, which is that, spoiler alert again if you're still watching, that the ship has already gone to the new planet and it's been there for a really long time and they've just been orbiting around because supposedly there are creatures that will just kill them all if they land, or there's that potential of danger. So I spoiled myself on that. I saw that on Goodreads and that was my first time kind of looking around the reviews. Shame on me for even looking to begin with, but it didn't really affect the way I read the book. So yeah, I think it was a great book. I really liked it. I mean, it's not the most amazing thing I've ever read, but for someone who maybe you aren't really into science fiction, I think this is a great way to kind of ease yourself into it because it still has like a young adult feel to it, in my opinion. So those are my reviews for Across the Universe and A Million Suns. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Don't believe I've ever done one of these since my channel is so new, so let's just jump right into it. I did a lot of reading this month. I don't know what it was. School had ended and I was all about the books. So I'm going to start off with the most recent to the books that I've already talked about a lot on this channel. So the most recent books I finished this like 2 days ago, was To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I have never related to a character as much as I related to the protagonist of this novel. It's just such a cute book, such a real book. I don't know how to explain it.